So let's start off in Tadasana. Now we are going to do a little bit of work with balance. So if balance is a big challenge for you, there's no shame in standing with one hand to the wall or even taking your back to the wall. That's totally fine. And we're taking Vrikshasana tree pose first. Go ahead and bend up your right leg, hold onto that right ankle, put your right foot on your inner upper left thigh. Now, if it does not go that high, don't put your foot on your knee. It's not good to put pressure on your knee, but you can put your foot on your calf, or you could even do toes on the floor like this, and then you could still work on this length on the inner leg and that contraction and firmness in the outer hip. So that's what we're going for, is keeping the hips forward, take that bent leg knee back, and then do you feel that outer knee to outer hip draw in, and there's an engagement and that firming of the outer hip. So it's like that femur head is coming into the socket. And then from here, you can even take the arms up, keep the gaze forward. Breathing is always a good idea. And then back to Tadasana and change sides. Put the left foot on the inner upper right thigh, or you can do one of the alternatives that I showed, so on the calf or on the floor. See that that standing leg kneecap is lifted up. And then with those hip bones forward like headlights, take that left inner knee back. So extend inner groin to inner knee, outer knee to outer hip. And when you do those actions, you will most likely feel that gripping and socketing in of that back outer femur head. And then from there, you can take the arms up, outer hips in. And this is a good opportunity to work with balance also, and elongating the spine, elongating the side waist. And then come back to Tadasana. Okay, we're going to add on to this now. So take that right leg up, Vrikshasana. Let's just fold the palms at the chest for now. And then from here, you're going to release that bent leg, slightly bend your standing leg, and you're going to wrap that right leg over the left leg for Garudasana eagle pose. Now from here, if you just kind of hang out, you're going to feel it's almost like a pressure in the femur heads and those outer hips, which is not a good thing. We want those femur heads to be firmed in. So think here about rolling the thighs from inside out, or another way to put it is you extend from the inner groin to outer groin, maybe slightly come up into the pose, and then you should feel those outer hips firm. Again, you can have your back to the wall for this, have the hand near a wall, so take whatever you need to help with your balance, or you can just work with the balance and work on challenging your balance. Okay, the leg that's on the top, that arm goes on the bottom to intertwine the arms for Garudasana eagle pose. Don't let your upper arms rest on your chest. Keep those upper arms parallel to the floor, draw the shoulders down, and then extend your fingertips up and hands up like a candle flame, reaching up and extending up to the ceiling. Back to Vrikshasana. You can take the arms up and then back to Tadasana. Okay, I'll show from the side now. So I'm, going at a certain pace. If you need to slow down, again, if you need to use wall support, go ahead and take what you need. You can even take half of what I'm doing, or you could keep the pace I'm keeping. So do what makes sense for you. Left leg up, Vrikshasana, tree pose. So hips forward. I'm even going to kind of let that leg go a little bit, hip bones forward, and then I draw that leg back. And then out here, I start to feel these muscles firm and engaged. So there's a tautness to the hip joint. And then from here, I'm going to slightly bend that standing leg, take that bent leg, wrap it around the standing leg for Garudasana eagle pose. The leg that's on the top, that arm is on the bottom. And chest up. Don't let the arms rest on the chest. Keep the upper arms parallel to the floor. And then back to Vrikshasana and Tadasana. Okay, you can either continue to work with that, or there's another piece we're going to add on. So I'll show you what that is. You may want a belt for this one, so you can have that handy. So we're going to add in a pose called Utthita Parshva Asta Padangusthasana, which means extended hand to leg pose with the leg to the side. So it looks like this. We'll take Vrikshasana, Garudasana. And then from here, this is where you may want to take the belt, but if you can hold your foot, go ahead and hold your foot. You'll take that belt, hold it on the inside of the leg, stand up straight and tall. First, get that upright position with the leg bent and extend and lengthen that inner groin to inner knee to outer hip. And you can even work on just the bent leg. This is great hip strengthening, balance work. But from here, then, can you extend that leg straight out to the side? And then bring it in. We can take one more Vrikshasana and then down. Okay, let's take the other side. So remember, you can also hold your foot if that's available to you. Tree pose, Vrikshasana. Garudasana, eagle pose. Back to either tree pose or Utthita Parshva Padangustasana. And then release back to tree pose and Tadasana. Okay, I'm going to do that whole cycle one more time, right side, left side. I'm going to get rid of the belt, but you are welcome to continue to use it if that serves you. Or again, you can take any part of this. You can do it half speed and work on the portions that make sense for you. Right side, Vrikshasana, tree pose. Take that inner knee back, hip bones forward. To Garudasana, eagle pose. Back to Vrikshasana, tree pose. And then Utthita Parshva Padangustasana. And then we can go ahead and release Tadasana. And change sides. Left leg up, Vrikshasana, tree pose. To Garudasana, eagle pose. Back to Vrikshasana. And then Utthita Parshva Padangustasana. And back to Vrikshasana. And Tadasana. And just take a moment, regain your balance. Feel that sense of, can you cultivate a sense of equanimity, right side, left side, front to back. So outer hips in, lift and extend up through the side waist, up into that armpit chest, and then reach those arms down, relax your shoulders. Smooth, steady breath. Okay, to close out this sequence, we're going to move on to the floor again. Now, there is one more thing I just wanted to show you for folks if you do have any kind of limitations with your hips or with balance. So I'm going to show you one other way that you can just work with these poses, with these standing poses, or working on hips. So if you have a chair, one thing you can do is you can take a chair near a wall. Let me show this way. And then you could stand with one side to the chair, and then just take that leg up like this. So this is another really nice way to work with standing poses, to work a little bit with balance, and to work with these same types of actions on the hips. So we're working on that mobility in the hips, that length in the inner leg, and then also that strength of the outer hips. And with this, you just want to be careful that you're not leaning into the chair this way, or I think it would be more unusual to lean away, but you don't want to lean into the chair, but are you really upright on the bones of that standing leg? And then from here with those hip bones forward, you can just work on taking that hand even to the inner knee. And then from here, maybe just slightly extend away from that leg. And then you'll roll even though the leg is moving away, you're turning your torso this way. So you start to get some more movement and also strength in these hips. I'm going to put the chair off to the side now. I'm going to grab a bolster and a block. And just have that bolster and block handy. We're not going to use it just yet. But for a moment here, let's simply sit up with the feet wide in Upavishta Konasana. Now, if you are very tight in the hips or hamstrings, of course, you can choose not to sit directly on the floor. You can